is Laura from Doggy U, and today we're going to be revealing my top 3 tips for a nice down stay. How to keep your dog in a down stay longer, how to keep them comfortable, and this works really well for both pet dogs and service dogs to get that nice extended down stay that we're looking for. So stay tuned. This video is intended to be the precursor to your stay before you train the full behavior, as well as give you some tips if your dog is struggling with a stay that you've already trained to help them stay in the down longer and be successful. Alright guys, so let's dive right in. So today we're going to be learning the top 3 tips for getting a better down stay from your dog. So first you'll notice that Whip is up here on a pedestal. She's on 2 climbs and a yoga mat because she tends to like a softer surface. Putting your dog up on some type of platform helps them with their stay. Now this video isn't a step-by-step on how to do stays, but this beginning part is going to be the beginning part of your long down stay that you're looking for. So starting with some type of platform, I'll link them in the link below, is really helpful for your dog. The first tip is tipping the hip. Yeah, I think I'm really punny too. So when you're putting your dog in a down, we want to have their body look like a C instead of a sphinx. Okay? So, sorry, my treats are sticking together here. So, I'm going to put my dog in a down. Now you'll notice she's in this like straight sphinx position. This is not ideal for a long down stay. So what I'm going to do is take this cookie and take it on her nose and tip it over to her hip until her hip kind of flares out like it just did there. And I'm going to feed in this tipped position. Now what you'll notice is that over time, she will naturally go into this tip position in the down. And this is going to promote, so see I'm putting nose to butt. This is going to promote that longer down, more comfortable, I call it the relaxed down that we're looking for. So tip number 1 is we're going to tip the hip, make her body look like a C. So I want to show you that one more time. So if she's going into the down like this, where she's in sphinx position, I take my cookie, I put it towards the hip until the hip flops over like that, and then I'm feeding her between her legs up here. Now you'll want to notice which way your dog tends to tip and go in that direction, or which way the dog is already starting to tip. So tip number 1, tip the hip. Tip number 2 is to always feed on the floor between their paws. Okay? So what I don't want to do with my dog is feed them here, because the first thing she wants to do is to get up for the food, right? I want my dog to know that the food is going to be delivered to her between her paws. I don't want any of that reaching behavior. So instead of feeding her to her mouth, we're going to feed on the ground. So again, we'll put her in the down. We're going to tip her hip over until her hip flops to the side like that, and I feed right here between her paws. And every time I deliver that food, I am delivering it right between her paws so she knows what she can expect. Okay? So she always knows. She's already, notice how, because this is how we've always worked our downs, she starts to look down. She's not even looking to my hand. Right before I do it, she's looking to the ground because she knows that's where she can expect her food to be. Right on the ground between her paws. So I'm feeding here, always on the ground. Now this works if you're on a platform or on the ground or outside, wherever it is. Your dog should expect that when they're in the down, you're feeding right between those 2 front paws. My final tip, tip number 3, is to have a release word, okay? So you want to create your first down stay as a little bit of a puppy pause. You're putting them in the down stay, you're feeding, and then you're releasing them. And that is a critical component of your stay. Your dog needs to know when the behavior is over. So it's either you release them to go do whatever dog stuff they want to do, or you ask them for something else. But they're not choosing when to get up. They can predict that you're going to tell them when the behavior is finished. So when we first start this, I want to show you what that looks like. Her release word is free, so I'm going to say free. I'm going to toss my cookie away. My dog gets the cookie. My dog comes back up. I put her back in her down where I'm going to tip that hip over again. So I get that nice hip tip. I'm feeding between her paws. And I want to do this little puppy pause where I go, I feed, I feed, and then I say, free, and I toss my cookie away. And that's the signal to my dog that she can get up. Now she wants to play this game because it's a fun game for her, so she comes right back to me and I can reset and do another rep. So I'm taking my cookie to combine all 3 tips. I'm taking my cookie, I'm putting her in the down, tipping her hip over so she's in a C, nice C shape, feeding between her paws. And every time I feed, I stand back up because eventually I'm going to start increasing the time between feedings. And I'm going to feed her anywhere from 3 to 10 times while I'm starting to work on this little puppy paws behavior. And then I'm going to say free, toss the cookie away. She knows when she can get up from the behavior. Okay? Your stay has a start and end to it. Now notice I did not call this stay yet. If you want to learn more about adding cues, I'll link my video below how to add a cue. But what I want to remember is my first thing I'm doing is teaching my dog about the position of hanging out in her little down stay, and that little down, I'm going to come to her and feed, and when it's over, I'm going to release her free. So those are my 3 tips for getting a really strong down stay. Tip number 1 is tip the hip. Tip number 2 is feed on the floor between the paws. And tip number 3 is have a release word and utilize your little puppy paws when you're starting your stay behavior. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that little bell button so that you can be notified anytime a new video comes out. If you have questions, make sure you comment below, or if you have ideas for videos or questions you'd like me to make into a video, make sure that you put those in the comments below. Share this with your friends. You guys have a great day and happy training. Yeah, good girl.
Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for our next video. Subscribe now and never miss an episode.